I have soiled myself. Hello everyone, it's Rocko here, and I'm on the Crossplane. The Crossplane. It is, it's very, very weird, the feeling of the Crossplane. If you hadn't ridden an R1 before, it's, it feels really strange. In terms of lightness and handling and stuff like that, it feels probably exactly the same. I mean, I've only done a couple of miles so far, but it feels fine. And also, I was quite worried about weight, like if the weight was going to be an issue. But the weight actually feels all right as well. Again, obviously, I haven't been in fast corners yet, so I'm not really sure. But so far, it seems quite normal, quite stable. It makes the weirdest noise. I mean, it's just so weird feeling an inline four smoothness with the sound of a V-twin. It's really odd. Yeah, it does feel very clunky. It's not like it doesn't like idling, but low speed's not really this bike's forte. It doesn't feel very smooth or very easy to ride at low speed. It's just sort of bobbling along, and I think the only benefit you really tell of this bike is when you get the hammer down, which if people get out of the fucking way I might be able to do. But yeah, looks wise, oh my god, this thing looks insane. It looks so good. Like, that's one thing I think the R1's always sort of had the edge on with competitors. The looks are just so much better. First gear feels really weird. I think I've had that sort of complaint from other R1 owners. They say the Crossplane feels quite strange in first gear. Get out of the way, let me do this. And it buzzes as it goes. It's all like, it sort of feels really like peppy and revvy, like almost like a V-twin 600. One thing actually that I've noticed so far is it's fucking comfortable. It is actually really comfortable for a bike that doesn't look like it's going to be comfortable. It looks like it's just going to eat you. It's mad! So bad! Oh yeah, oh yeah. Doesn't matter what gear you're in, you've always got like this instantaneous power that just goes BAP! Every single time. BAP! So fun, so fun. Oh god, I have soiled myself. Yeah, it's cool. It might be a V-twin noise thing. You know, it's got the grunt of a V-twin, but, you know, when you roll on the power, it's still got shitloads of it. And it revs up to 13.5 that. Are you what mode is it in at the moment? I don't even know what mode it's in. Is that standard? I don't know. Oh my god, it wants to pop the front wheel every single time. You have to just back off the throttle going, no, stop it. Stop it. It's like a naughty school child. I have no idea what A mode means, but I imagine that's the same as the Suzuki A mode means full power. Maximum attack. So I'm going to go for that. I don't think it's like S1000 mad, but then again, S1000 is a couple of grand more. If it, maybe a few grand more actually. You know, this is what, 12 grand, something like that. 12 grand. Could you think of a worse combination than a learner bus driver? Could you even think of a worse combination than that on the road? That's got to be like the world's most hated human being. She was quite disapproving, but the kid fucking loved it. Kids love these bikes. they look at it and go, oh fuck, it's an R1, that's the fastest bike in the world. It's faster than a plane. That's what they think. That's, you know, that's what people think. They think R1s are the fastest things on two wheels. And yet they're wrong. They are wrong. It's not the fastest thing you can buy, but still pretty damn quick. And it's got that image, and I don't think that image is ever going to drop because it's built that up from a massive line of bikes. Jizz machine, isn't she a lovely jizz machine? Jizz machine, isn't she a lovely jizz machine? Yes, she is. It's the first sort of bike I've ridden, actually, that I wouldn't even say it's a she. This is a definite he bike. This is the most masculine bike I've ever ridden in my life. Other ones, you know, you get the sense that there's a slight bit of prettiness about them. Do you know what I mean? There's a little bit of, you know, incy fancy styling, and you're like, yeah, you know, a girl could pull this off, but R1s, fuck my life, man's bike. It's matte grey. I love this finish, this matte grey finish, because it's so understated. It looks fucking awesome. Ironically, I don't think I've ever been on a bike that's got so much attention. You know, I've been on Ducatis, I've been on, you know, nice V-twins, but this bike just seems to get attention everywhere it goes. It's just loved by so many people and respected by so many people as well. Even people who don't know anything about bikes, you know, people who, they just hear about bikes and see bikes go past, and I think genuinely the R1 has just got this image of being the best bike. You know, you can argue whether it deservedly so has that image or whatever, but it does. It's got the image. It's nailed it. Lovely engine, really lovely engine. It makes the bike. The engine is, you know, the engine is everything to this bike, and it really, you know, yeah, they have focused on it and they have taken away maybe a bit of quality. You know, Yamaha, they use older components. And a lot of people don't like that. You know, a lot of people say the R1, it's the same as the R6. I think the R6 is a massive issue at the moment, where they've released basically the same bike for the past 6-7 years. And it is a big problem, because you're buying a bike that's 6-7 years old in terms of quality. I think there is also another factor. It's more a personal factor of mine, but I think the R1's been overdone. I think, you know, there are a lot of people who got them. Yeah, there may be a very good reason for that. They are a very good bike. You know, you've got the looks, you've got the sound, you've got quite a lot of what everyone looks for in a bike, to be honest. It might not be the easiest bike to ride, certainly isn't as easy as the Fireblade. I still think the Fireblade is a very, very easy bike to ride. When I say ride, I mean ride fast. You know, it's a very easy bike, very predictable. Much like the Gixxer, it's so smooth. This is different. I'm not saying it's worse, I'm saying it's different. You have to get used to it. You have to understand that the big bang, as it were, for this bike is the engine. The brakes, the suspension, the weight of it doesn't feel as good as other bikes. But if you can get around that, if you can ride around that sort of, not issue as it were, but fact, if you can ride around that fact, you will love this thing. It does feel more exciting than an inline four. You know, it feels like there's a hamster that's on steroids legging it about to give you some power. And a fucking massive hamster as well. You know, the handling, when you get used to it, I've only been riding it for around an hour. When you get used to it, you just become used to it, and you get to know its sort of its dips and dives, how it turns in, how it feels. You get to know all of it, and to be honest, it's quite an acceptable ride. It wouldn't take long for you to get to know the bike enough to ride it quickly. It just take you a bit longer than a blade. You know, if you're willing to make that sacrifice, then it's fine. Oh. I can listen to that noise all day. It's intoxicating, the noise when it goes. It's such an angry noise. Oh, and that's a lovely bottom. Oh, such an aggressive noise. Look, see, you get looks, you get so many looks. It is unbelievable. What do I think of it? Well, as you know, I've done test rides on ZX10, Fireblades, now the R1. What other 1,000 have I tried? Well, those are the three main. Yeah, obviously S1000. Duh. And all in all, I think the R1 is quite a good all-rounder. You know, I think one end of the scale, I think you've got Larry to sensible scale. You know, one end you got the Larry ones, and the other end you got the sensible ones. The Larry one, I'd say, like the most Larry one, was probably the ZX10. Just because the power is amazing. Like, it's just astonishing amounts of power that just rip your arms off when it gets there. But it's not sort of linear, smooth power. It's right at the top end. It's quite smooth, but it's right at the top end. And so for that reason, you have to be wanting to go fast to go really quick anyway. So whether that's sensible or Larry, I'm not sure really, but I suppose I'm going to go with the Larry one. It also, the looks are Larry. It rides like a Larry bike. You know, it wants to pop up onto one wheel at every single given moment. It's a maniac's bike, the ZX10. It really is. Then you got stuff like the Blade, which is just the completely opposite end of the scale. The power's everywhere. It's, you know, it's got such a lovely linear torque band. It's so easy to ride it. You know, you can get on it and literally within 5 minutes be losing your license. It's so easy and so lovely to ride, so comfortable and so well built. The R1, it feels comfortable. It feels pretty well built. The components don't feel as well put together, I will admit, as a Honda. But then again, you know, being as well put together as a Honda is a fucking hard thing to do. They're so well made, those bikes. But it does have the little bit of excitement factor. You know, it's got a bit of the what if factor. And that for me is what kind of does it. It's a bike that it can quite easily poodle along at, you know, 30-40 mile an hour, just starting poodling along, but you get the sense that it doesn't want to. The engine just starts kind of not choking, but like kind of going really lumpy and bumpy and going, oh, I don't like this, I really don't like this. Yeah, you just get the sense that it's that bit more exciting. You know, it has that bit of grunt that the Fireblade has, and it has it all over, just like the Fireblade has. But it just feels like it's alive, like it's buzzing and it's raring to go. It feels like it wants to be a race bike, but it's been set up to be a road bike. It's like the most irritated bike in the world. And that's what sort of makes me giggle about it. You know, it's a bike that literally, it just makes you giggle. It's got that ridiculous noise, it's got that ridiculous engine, and it's so plush as well, like, to ride it. It feels like so comfortable and soft. And I'm sure you could, you know, hone that out, but it does actually feel like the most comfortable race bike ever. Ah, ah.